Hello, and welcome to another episode of Can you believe they're letting me do this shit by myself? In 5D. I'm so lonely. No, yeah, welcome to another episode of 5D Podcast. It's probably going to be a short one. The other folks couldn't quite make it tonight, and that's okay. So I'm going to rant and rave for a couple of minutes here. Mostly just talk about the things I'm doing in the immediate. But yeah, let's just get right into it. No jokes, can't be funny. I'm not funny by myself. I'm sorry. It's all bonsai. And claps sometimes. So, the latest thing that I've been into, and anyone who's listened to the podcast for any amount of time knows that I am very much a Destiny and a Bungie fan, and have been for a very long time. Halo, the first Halo is really what got me into kind of the modern console. Actually, it was Halo 2, but I've gone back and watched Halo 1, played Halo 1 as well. But it's really what got me into consoles, because before, like, I was into consoles like from Nintendo, because when I was a kid, you know, we weren't really well off, and you couldn't have every single console. And more so like, oh my God, you couldn't have every single console. No, more so it was about that you had to work for everything. Literally, at the time, I had done some work. I don't remember. It was at the same place that my mother was working at the time, and I was a young kid. And I saved up money to buy myself a Nintendo. And I still remember it was an NES, and it was the Mario 3 edition, the one that came bundled with a game. And I had no idea, because I generally didn't understand how consoles work. I had a cousin who had that console, and I play at his house, and he was stupid good. It was one of those things where he knew the turtle trick in Mario 1, and I know I'm losing credit here to admit that I don't remember exactly what it was. It was something about hitting the turtle up against one of the little, like, a block pyramids that you climb to before you jump on the flag, over and over again until the points got you a bunch of lives. So it was always like, you know, it'd be my turn to play when, you know, he ran out of lives, and that SOB never ran out of lives. But anyways, so I've never had at that point, I'd never had a console for myself. And then I was able to buy one. I didn't know you needed games for it. So after that, it was tough getting more games, usually flea markets or garage sales and stuff like that. I don't think I ever had a brand new Nintendo game. But anyways, so First console then, and then after that I did have a Sega, but it was kind of the same deal, where it was somebody, I had done work for somebody, and you know, I was a kid. I'm fully admit that I'm sure my parents pitched in a little bit, but this was serious. Like, I was out in the fields and doing stuff like that. So I had a Sega. It was the Genesis, not the original. Once it was the I think it was the 32-bit, or the 16-bit. It was just it was very clean. It just had the power button, the reset button. It didn't have any of the levers or any of the switches from the older one. And I remember I went and I got that one too, and that one was the bundle with Vector Man. And I'm starting to think maybe either my parents or uncle, whoever took me to buy the console, I'm starting to think that they knew better than I did at that point, because both times they also came with the game, and that one came with Vector Man 2, I believe. Man, I played the crap out of that game. So, anyways, long story short, I've totally gone to this whole tangent now at this point, because I'm by myself and might as well. But I had that, I had the Genesis, and then skipped everything in between. And one Christmas, a friend's mom bought me some clothes and bought me a PlayStation. The original PlayStation, the boxy one, not the round one. Just PlayStation. And that was the next console I had. And then after that, I didn't really have any consoles. I think it wasn't until the Xbox 360 Elite came out that I had my own console. But before that, I'd go over to Bonsai's house and I would play Halo 2. And again, very roundabout way of letting you know that I'm a Bungie fan. I've been one for many years. I do feel the Halo franchise dropped off, but anyways, they let it go, and I mean, I'm sure they were contractually obligated to not keep any of the IP or whatever, but they went free. So I've been playing Destiny since Destiny 1. I've played Destiny 2, and it's been, a roller coaster. It feels like we went through these weird cycles with Destiny where at first it was okay for what it was, and for a while, as fandoms often do, they feel ignored. There were so many things we were asking for, and it seems like the only thing they were doing was taking away the shit that we really enjoyed. And so I remember when they took the loot cave, I was so bummed when they took the loot cave. Because that was the only way to get good loot. It was so hard to get good loot in Destiny 1. And then they went through this whole rework. They did the Taken King, and that, I thought, made the game way better. And really, at the end of Destiny 1, they got it. And then they released Destiny 2. And again, it was better in the sense of it was updated graphics, and you had all the things that you the crafting system was enhanced, but man, did they shit the bed on content. It was super light. It felt like Destiny 1 vanilla all over again. But anyways, I think Destiny 2 has immensely improved, and we're at I think it's year 3 of Destiny 2. It's getting long in the tooth, but they're doing they're doing this new expansion. So they went ahead and they launched Shadowkeep. And here's the thing. That was 7 minutes of me explaining why I like Bungie and Destiny and how we got here. So this is a review of Shadowkeep. I've gone through what you would consider the main storyline. I've done the Vex offensive. I've done the nightmare hunts, the more difficult ones. I'm forgetting at the moment, but so I've gone ahead and played all that, and I just kind of wanted to talk about it. First things first, just to reiterate, yeah, I'm a Bungie fan, but I do feel like they were making some really stupid decisions, and at this point, I've always blamed it on Activision, and I'm glad they got out, especially with everything going on now. Good thing they got out just in time for Shadowkeep. But the thing that I do want to say is, as much as I love them, even without Activision, there's some things about Shadowkeep that right off the bat kind of I wasn't too fond of. And to be fair, it just feels like they reused a bunch of maps with a couple of tweaks. And yeah, they opened up new areas, but it all just feels slightly bolted on. And I do think that the new armor proficiencies and the way to masterwork weapons and that, I think that's better. And honestly, I think that they've kind of learned their lesson in the crafting. It's a lot easier to get the cores, the masterwork cores, the ones you use to masterwork weapons, and it's a lot easier now to just level your stuff. You want to get buy an upgrade core, you have the right amount, go ahead, go do it, or upgrade matrix. I forget what name they use. So that system is great. I love that they introduced that in Shadowkeep. I will fully admit that I don't 100% understand their armor, and that's because I generally, when I play games, I play them to enjoy, and a lot of times, if I have to study too hard, I'm just kind of not interested. And I know a lot of folks think that makes me a shitty gamer, and I just want to say, no, that makes me a lazy gamer. Generally, if I need to study for any game, I just don't. I remember how much time I spent to get pretty good at Halo, and well, Halo 3, because that was the one that was out when I bought my first modern console myself. But I played that so many hours, like at night, and also like I, it was just one of those things where I spent so much time playing that game, and I regret none of it. I'm just saying. Let me put that out there. I regret not a single goddamn moment. That game was amazing. I know Bonsai hates on it all the time, but I enjoyed the multiplayer. I had my own little client. It was great. But it's just not. I don't know. I'm sometimes I feel disappointed in the Shadowkeep, and I think I went on a tangent, totally lost my mind there. But those are the things I don't really like. It's some of the gameplay now is repetitive. The new story is a little too short. They have added quite a few events and challenges, and that stuff is really cool. But I have always been a story guy, so I was hoping that we'd get a little bit deeper. I will say that the first time seeing, and spoiler, whatever, but I will say that the first time they showed the pyramid, I damn near shat myself. I was like, so cool, because I'm such a story guy. I've been waiting for, at this point, what it feels like 3 games, because of all the renditions of each one that they've done. It's always been like a 1 and a 1.5, and then there's another one and another half. So, but anyways, the pyramid, the darkness, we're starting to get a little bit more. We're kind of starting to understand, and the glimpses they're giving us are great, but I just feel that they could have done more to give us a little bit more story on this one. That's disappointing. But here's what I do like. I do like the feel. I do like the new challenges. The Vex offensive stuff's pretty cool. And the Vex incursions are pretty cool. I will say that they completely reworked how your items level, and some of your, basically all your items were given a new base level. No matter how high they were before, everybody was equal, which felt kind of shitty, because, you know, for veteran players that have been playing for a while, it felt like a lot of that work was just wasted. Yes, we have weapons that are available to us that might not be available to others, but still, man, I put in so much fucking time. Some of my weapons should have just, leveled higher. But anyways, it did help me in other places. Weapons that had been left behind, or armor that had been left behind that's not useful. But I remember that first day playing Shadowkeep, I just did like, I tried to do one public event, and I was to the point where I could solo most public events, and I just got fucking reamed. I couldn't even finish. I ran out of time. Just died so many times. But anyways, so that's the thing that was kind of weird. But I do like that they reworked the light system, and I know it's free to play now. So I like the fact that that more people are getting exposed to this game, because I thought it was great. It's weird though. Why is all activities on the moon so lonely? Is everyone just doing the new playlists and all that stuff? It's just, sometimes I'm on the moon and I see a public event drop and I'm like, Bueller? Nobody? Anybody? No? All right, whatever. Doing it myself. Sometimes I win, sometimes I don't. It's still not quite there yet. I generally just play by myself, so doing some of the really super loot stuff, I still got to do the raid. But it just doesn't happen. So, what would I score Destiny? I would score it... Destiny Shadowkeep, to be specific, I would score it 3.5 out of 5 dead ghosts. That's what I would score it. Because it's pretty good. But it just... New content is okay, and the enemies are the same fucking enemy all over again. It's the Hive. Ooh, big surprise. They're just red this time instead of whatever fucking like etheric green, and before that just mostly brown. But yeah. Sorry about that. My throat was getting dry. But alright, so moving past that. I've got like one more thing that I wanted to cover, and that's That's a show that I've been watching kind of on the side here, and I'm kind of glad that I am. So I've been watching Big Mouth season 3. For folks who have never seen it, it is a crass, crude, but hilarious animated show about just all the cringy and kind of like gross awkwardness that your teenage years are. You know, they cover the stereotypical stuff, periods and boners and just things like that. So this is season 3, and this show has always gone a hard time because it's crude and it makes fun of a number of things. It's pretty just, it's gross and just uses crazy imagery. It's really not for children because, yeah, spoiler if you haven't seen any of it, but there's literally penises that are just furry that walk around on themselves, use their little testicles as legs, and they ain't got no arms, but man, do they have personality. But anyway, so this is season 3. I've watched both seasons prior to this, and I didn't know what to expect. This is one of those shows where if there's more, cool. If not, cool. It feels like kind of where Family Guy was once. Like, man, I really like Family Guy, but I'm starting to kind of predict the jokes. I like it's gonna be Peter does something zany and never learns his fucking lesson, just says I'm sorry at the end, and all good. Obviously I'm being reductive. Oh yeah, and so yeah, definitely this hit that stride where it's like after season 2, if there was gonna be 3, I was like, oh, that's cool, it's a 3, but if not, cool. What we got was good. But they honestly, they floored me. I think it was episode 1 or 2 of the new season. I think I've watched most of it at this point. But I will say that at one point, and then spoiler, they have the hormone monster talking like Macho Man Randy Savage, and like, yes, brother. Like, I'm probably doing the voice all wrong, but the point is, I lost my shit. Bonsai, as everyone knows, is a huge fan of Macho Man Randy Savage, and there's so many things, but I will say it's starting to tackle some more sensitive subjects, right? So it's starting to tackle not just the gross and awkwardness part of being a teenager, but kind of the things that potentially teenagers are going through today, right? With whatever you want to call it, PC, gender identity, all that stuff. It's just stuff that, it's very topical, and they're handling, and I think they're doing a good job of being just kind of irreverent about these subjects, but also at the same time educating. Like, they still make crass jokes, and they still, like, sure, they call themselves on it because, it seems self-aware, but it doesn't matter. All those, they make a lot of crass jokes that some people are too sensitive would not understand. I think it's hilarious, but the point is that they're tackling these subjects and educating about it. And even, like, so far, the one episode where I thought it got super cringy, when they went and started talking about the whole, like, identity spectrum, like, you do you. It was just kind of weird. It felt out of nowhere because it was just like, hey, look, the new student, and woo, she just happens to be this thing, and they bust into a song about it, I'm pretty sure. But anyways, they're tackling all these subjects, and even that episode, it wasn't terrible. It was still funny. There were some really good parts about it, and just generally calling out double standards. I think they're doing a good job. For this one, I would give it, this one gets 9 furry testicle walking dicks out of 10 furry testicle walking dicks. That would be my rating for season 3. But yeah. All right, so I've actually gone way over the time that I thought this was going to take. It's probably because I rambled. Let me let you in a little secret. I've been getting baked every day so I can work out. Doctor's orders. I'm not even joking. That's just true. So probably a little rambly without the others to reel me in today. But I did want to say one thing before I go, and this is probably going to piss off Bonsai, but fucking Blizzard. Am I right? Like, come on. Completely shit the bed. To the point where I love fucking Diablo 3. I have it on my Switch. I have it on my PC. I don't want it on my mobile. I was going to say that, but no, fuck that. But I don't give a shit about fucking Diablo 4. There's rumors that it's going to be Souls-like, and they're the baddies now. I was talking to Bonsai, and I'm like, after all the shit that they're going through, just fuck, dude. Just own it. You fucked up. Own it. Move past it. But now, like, they're denying, and I'm laughing because for those of you just listening to the audio, the folks live on the YouTube stream are just like, you guys have phones, right? It's just ridiculous. I just can't be fucked to care anymore. Own it. You fucked up. Don't do it again. Just move past it. Yeah, I don't know. Fuck Blizzard, and just, man, you were the chosen one. Just, how could you? And on that note, bye.